today we are going to discuss the power of mind. Let's start. Do you know what's the most powerful and most complex organ in the human body? It is a wrinkled, pinkish gray that only weighs 3 pounds but controls everything from the way humans move and think. You're right. It's our brain. Our brain is powerful enough that we can live without it. It is located in our head, protected by our skull, and contains billions of neurons. During elementary and junior high school, we learned that our brain is composed of 3 main parts: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and brainstem. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain that performs higher functions such as reasoning, learning, and the uses of 5 senses. The cerebellum, which is located under cerebrum, coordinates movements, maintains posture and balance, and controls the body's voluntary movement. Meanwhile, the brainstem controls the involuntary movements in our body, such as breathing, heart rate, blood pressure, even digestion. It also connects the spinal cord to the brain. We all know this part, but do we know the divisions of the brain? Do we know which part is responsible for this and for that? That's going to be our topic today. The theories about brain.
In 1881, Paul Rocca conducted a study and theorized that some language of the brain reside on the left side of the brain. Then Dr. Roger Perry found out and explained that the brain has 2 hemispheres that perform tasks differently from each other. He discovered that the left hemisphere of the brain was performing tasks that were intuitive, creative, and synthesizing, while the right hemisphere of the brain was more skilled, was analytical, logical reasoning, and critical thinking.
Next is the three-new brain theory. Scientists by the name of Dr. Paul MacLean identified 3 distinct parts of the brain, namely neocortex, limbic system, and reptilian system. The neocortex or rational brain is responsible for intellectual tasks such as language, planning, abstraction, and perception, while the limbic system or the intermediate brain is responsible for the motivation and emotions involving feeding, reproductive behavior, and parental behavior. Finally, there is the primitive brain or the reptilian complex, which controls the self-preservation and aggressive behavior of humans.
Brain dominance theory. Neil Herman, a creativity researcher and author, came up with his own theory called the brain dominance theory, or also called as the whole brain theory. People normally have a more dominant part of their body, like a more dominant leg, eye, or arm, which a person often prefers to use. Herman extended his dominance theory to the brain, which he concluded to having not just 2 parts but 4.
Herman labeled the 4 quadrants of the brain. Part A, or the upper left part, is responsible for analytical thinking. When this portion is dominant in a human, he or she is interested in collecting data, listening to informational lectures, and judging ideas based on facts. These people are likely to be finance manager, chemist, and computer programmer. Part B, or the lower left part, is responsible for organized or sequential thinking. People with this dominant part in their brain prefers to follow directions, planning, and organizing things. These people are likely to be technical manager, bookkeeper, and construction engineer.
Part C, or the lower right part, is responsible for interpersonal thinking. When this part is dominant, a human is interested in listening to and sharing ideas, and they are fond of creative and free-flowing activities. This kind of people tends to be elementary teacher, marketing, and real estate agent. Part D, or the upper right part, is responsible for imaginative thinking. People with this dominant part in the brain prefers generating idea, taking initiative, causing change, and brainstorming. These people are likely to be advocatives, senators, and writers. Hence, the personality and preference of people reflects their dominant part of the brain. How amazing, right?
We are the Group 4. Welcome to our vlog.
Hi, I'm Angelo.
Hi, I'm Jam.
Hi, I'm Princess.
Hi, I'm Melvin.
Hi, I'm Aliyah. And here we are now at Antonio A. Maceda to conduct an interview for the students to determine which part of their brain is more dominant.
So now, we are going to ask some questions to the student of Maceda. Let's go.
A few moments later.
Hi, can I ask you some questions? Which one do you likely to be? Be active or be thoughtful?
For me, I would rather prefer to be thoughtful than active. Because when you are thoughtful, you get to think of what the others are thinking instead of just doing without thinking.
Okay, thank you.
In decision making, do you consider alternative or to go with first idea?
I would suggest to, if I were me, I would choose the first idea, I think. Because sa tingin ko kasi, yung first idea kasi, yung nagpo-pop up, kailangan mo mas mabilis na decision making for you to, like for example, kunyari, si Jam, no? Bigla na lang siyang nabangga. What if kung, paano kung maano? Kaya kailangan ka agad. If something goes through your mind, if you think that is right, you should do it.
Do you prefer the most classical music or popular music?
Pop music. Mas gusto ko siya kasi parang mas modern and mas in siya. Mas fun.
Let's go to mind mapping.
Mind mapping. What is that? Well, it's just easy. Mind mapping is simply a diagram used to visually represent or outline information. It is a powerful graphic technique that allows your brain organize and understand information faster and better. This is an example of mind mapping. This is much effective than scribbling information in a piece of paper. How amazing, right? Our brain is indeed magical and powerful. It is really magically powerful that it can take you to anywhere. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something from it.